What is up, guys? It's me, Lee, back bringing you some more NBA news and updates. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I just want to say thank you all for the continued support through the changes of this channel. I really appreciate it. That being said, we got a lot to talk about today, so we are just going to get right into it. But first, you guys knew it was coming. I do have to give another thank you, but this time to the sponsor of this video, SeatGeek. See, SeatGeek is a must-have app for any NBA fans looking to get tickets to a game, or just anyone who enjoys going to live events such as concerts. You can use the SeatGeek app to get a view from the seats before you buy them, as well as an additional $20 off your first order when you use the promo code SDC at checkout. I'm going to be using the app to go to my very first Pistons playoff game this year, so that's pretty exciting. And you guys can use the app too by using the links down in the description box below. For our first story of the day, guys, Paul George has been having an incredible season. He was already an incredible player coming into this year, but this year he's just taking it to a whole nother level. He was a starter in the All-Star game. He's going to be All-NBA for his team. He's going to finish top 5 in MVP voting, as well as he'll be up there in the Defensive Player of the Year voting as well. The guy has been flat out incredible for the OKC Thunder this season, and now we know why. Paul George just came out and said it's because he quit snacking that he's able to play how he's been playing. I'm a gamer, so I was a snacker, and I think I was in that transition of being, oh, I can still do it. I can still eat whatever I want and still go out because I've done it 3-4 years in my early career. However, he then said, this is not going to work. I'm gonna have to slim down. I'm gonna have to watch what I eat. I'm gonna have to control my sleep. I'm gonna need every bit of energy that I can get. So yeah, Paul George contributes the breakout season that he's having to his diet change, and he hasn't been the first player to say that a diet change has helped them play at a bigger level. Damian Lillard, Kyle Lowry, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James spends millions doing stuff like this on his body every single year, and then Ray Allen was like one of the pioneers of this, if you were to ask me. The man would eat the same thing every day during the season, always noting how important it is to monitor what it is that you put into your body. And if I'm any other player in the NBA, even another all-star level player that's still snacking and maybe not having the best diet overall, I'm looking at the season Paul George is having compared to the seasons that he's having before, and I'm getting on the Paul George diet. Next up in the news, Bucks guard Malcolm Brogdon will officially be out for 6 to 8 weeks after he hurt his foot a couple of nights ago. Now, this is terrible news because it happens at the worst part of the season, right before the NBA playoffs are set to start. The playoffs are starting in about a month, and 6 to 8 weeks means a month and a half to 2 months, meaning Malcolm Brogdon very well could miss the entire first round of the NBA playoff. And seeing as to how big of a piece he's been for the Bucks so far this year, shooting 42% from 3, that's not something that you want to go into the playoffs without. That being said, the Milwaukee Bucks are still the Milwaukee Bucks. They have been phenomenal so far this year. They have the best record in the Eastern Conference and in the entire NBA. This team should not have that much problem getting out of the first round without Malcolm Brogdon. I would hope not. For our next story of the day, wow, this is not something that I ever thought I would be covering. It's been a while since we talked about burner accounts. Maybe like a year ago in the NBA, they were all the craze. All the players are being caught with burner accounts. Kevin Durant specifically, he was the one that started this trend. As you remember, when he got caught defending himself on Twitter multiple times using his real account that he thought was a burner account. The man's never been able to live that down, and that's why he just tried to defend himself. Yeah, Kevin Durant tried to defend his burner accounts, as he says that we all just took it the wrong way and he didn't use those burner accounts to defend himself. He simply wanted a way to talk to his friends. I wasn't used to that amount of attention, you know, from playing basketball. I wanted a place where I can talk to my friends without anybody just butting in my conversations or mixing my words or taking everything out of context, because I enjoyed that place. Have you ever just tried, I don't know, texting your friends or calling them and inviting them over, just sending them a DM? Why do you need to set up a fake Instagram account to talk to your friends? And not to mention that you got caught using your real account like it was a burner account, meaning that on that burner account, you had been doing this for a while. You used that account to defend yourself, just admit it. Continuing on though, we got some more news out regarding the New York Knicks and their owner James Dolan. Now, he's been in the news a couple of times over the past few weeks, and of course it wasn't for good thing, as he was in the news for kicking a fan out of Madison Square Garden and banning him for life. And on top of that, the man claimed that he knew free agents were coming to New York. I'm pretty sure that's even illegal to say. Yeah, James Dolan has been in the news a few times and never for anything good. And it's because of that the Knicks fans are finally voicing out. Now, they have been voicing out in the past. We all know that Knicks fans have never been really happy with James Dolan as an owner, seeing as to how they have been miserable since the day they signed up to be Knicks fans. But now they've had enough. They have officially had enough, and they are starting to revolt against James Dolan. As not only were Knicks fans handing out banned James Dolan shirts in front of Madison Square Garden, there were also some other Knicks fans who made their own shirts and tried to wear them in Madison Square Garden, and that's where they were stopped. That's where the Knicks said no, as they did not allow those fans into the game with those shirts and make them throw them away. Had this shirt confiscated when walking into the Garden. They took 2 from us and a 3rd that was put into his pocket. The Garden security traced and followed him through scanning and made him open his jacket to prove that he threw it away. He then made another guard pick it out of the garbage to prove it. It's a revolt happening, people. We are having a revolt amongst NBA fans. That's crazy. And for our final story of the day, we have to talk about LeBron James. And no, we don't have to talk about the fact that LeBron James had his buzzer-beating game winner swatted by Mario Hezonja as the Lakers lost to the Knicks yesterday. We don't have to talk about that because I just said everything you needed to know. Instead, what we have to talk about is what LeBron James said after the game. As after the game, the media started to ask LeBron James on his views of the Lakers' upcoming free agency and whether or not he's excited about the Lakers adding some new players to this team. And here's what LeBron had to say.
You know, like I said, it's a lot of great free agents in this summer. I'm not going to name any names because every time I say something or organization says something about a specific person, we get in trouble. But we have an opportunity to get better, and that's something that it's definitely great to know that when you have an opportunity to get better from a personnel standpoint.
We all know the Lakers are planning to get at least one max level player this summer. If the Lakers don't get a max level player to play alongside LeBron this summer, they will never hear the end of it, and Magic Johnson will never find another job in the NBA. So it's pretty much do or die. They have to land that max level player this summer. The thing is though, do we really trust the Lakers management to land that max level player? See, over the past couple of days, we've gotten some disturbing news coming out regarding the Los Angeles Lakers upper management, as it's been confirmed that they were deciding between keeping Julius Randle and signing Michael Beasley. We all know how that went down. They chose to sign Michael Beasley over keeping Julius Randle, a huge mistake. But even though we know that this happened, we never quite understood the reasoning behind it. Why would they make such a boneheaded decision? But now we know, or at least one insider thinks that he knows. They let Brook Lopez go, the idea being that they chose Michael Beasley over him, which to me is fairly unforgivable because they had already lost Julius Randle and they felt that Beasley had a similar skill set to be a small ball 5 as Julius Randle did last year when he was a small ball 5 with that second unit and sometimes with the first. So they felt like Beasley's skill set would replace that. So they were like, we're going to let Julius Randle go because we can sign Michael Beasley just as good. He can play the 5, and because he can play the 5, that also means that we no longer need Brook Lopez, even though he's willing to play for us for the Lolo, just like he did with the Milwaukee Bucks. AKA the Lakers said Michael Beasley is enough to replace Julius Randle and Brook Lopez. Now, I do feel bad for Michael Beasley. The man just lost his mother back in December, and that's a majority of the reason why he really even hasn't been able to play for the Lakers this year. So I feel terrible for Michael Beasley, and don't hold this against him. This isn't his fault whatsoever. The Lakers offered him a bag, and he took the bag. Nothing wrong with that. But for the Lakers to choose him over Julius Randle and Brook Lopez, that's just terrible. Like, that's honestly the worst. And then they just gave away Zubac for like, what is going on, Magic Johnson? That's the type of stuff that makes people question whether or not the Lakers are actually going to get that max level player to play alongside LeBron this summer. That's gonna do it for all of the news we gotta talk about today though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, go ahead and destroy that like button, as well as make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you once again for watching though. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, but until next time, keep getting the buckets, Team STC, and I'm out of here.